Hi, friends. Host Derek here. Who's talking with faith people. Are your goals wrong? Are they? Do you have the wrong goals? Well, I'm here to set you straight. You come to me with your goals today, and I will tell you either right goal or wrong goal. Okay? We're playing right goal, wrong goal. Sup, leaf trimmer? Do you have any goals? Share with me your goal, and I'll tell you acceptable, unacceptable. I am the gauge of all knowing when it comes to goals. So that's my job today, is to provide statuses for each of your goals. Wrong goal, Ethan McDonald. Wrong goal. Ethan said he wanted to graduate college. It's like saying, I want to make a really stupid large expenditure,
Yes.
Rari Shag. Okay, Rari Shag, acceptable goal. Acceptable short-term goal if you're single, okay? Your goal is to have a goal. That is a totally acceptable goal. Leaf trimmer, goal, have multiple wives. Unacceptable goal. Unacceptable.
The bearer of truth. So
having multiple wives is the consequence of failure. It's not a goal. Like, I have had 2 wives, but the right woman is Rachel, and it doesn't mean it was wise of me to get with the wrong women. It just means those are mistakes I had to make. But that wasn't a goal. Make the mistakes I have to make shouldn't be a goal you have. A leaf trimmer, multiple ISFJ wives, aim high. I agree. Leaf trimmer, if anybody, needs multiple ISFJ wives.
Yeah, that I would be okay with leaf trimmer having
doting on him and tolerating him yelling at them.
Yeah, because they have to be extra ultra feminine.
Right. Well, everything that leaf trimmer doesn't want to do is women's work.
So, okay. All right.
That's how it works out at leaf trimmer's house.
All right. Did you try this jack yet?
No, I haven't. I'm about to. We just got back from the weed store. That typically is cause for live streaming. It's like getting new weed makes you want to live stream for some reason.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, here we go. Let's try the jack. Last time I got jack at this place, it was great. It was real jack. And hopefully this is just as good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll say this. Doesn't taste like stereotypical jack, but it's pretty goddamn stony.
Mm-hmm.
It's stonier than the other weed.
Yes.
It's definitely stonier than the other one.
It is stonier. I feel it. My head feels cloudy.
Yeah, that gives me the drug sweats.
Does it?
Yeah, a little bit.
I like that.
Utter Self says his goal is to pave a way for other people to seek and find themselves. It's a bit cheesy, but that's my goal. I mean, that's the thing about action types, is they want to be the leader, right? But whose goal is it? My goal is to find the right guru to show me the right path. Nobody seems to have that goal, at least explicitly, right?
It's more forced upon us. Like, I think of, like, when you say that, I think of Teal Swan.
Teal Swan is... You know what I'm going to say about Teal Swan right now?
What?
She's a real stinky poo.
I think that's appropriate adjectives. Adjectives are describing, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's a stinky poo. Now, stinky in this instance would be the adjective. Poo would be the noun. Being modified by the adjective stinky.
When we like, I don't know, I'd like to donate some stuff of mine, and I would like to donate her cards because I don't use them.
Well, then I would like you to donate them to us.
Okay.
Because I like the fact that they're cards. We could paint one side of them white, and we can make whatever we want on them as cards. So that would be fun.
Okay.
Chase your dream. You can achieve it, little guy. Just put your mind to it. If you believe in you, no, I believe in you. We are all special. All of us. You are a special little being. You can do it. That's a terrible goal, Hero M. Terrible, terrible goal. That's not even a goal. That's just beautiful, incredibly wise and insightful advice. That's all. Yeah, so all of us action types want to be the one talking and providing utility with our words to other types, right? Or utility through our actions if we're ESTPs maybe, but in this context that would mean words. So it's ESTP, their extroverted intuition activates in order for them to take some sort of action in this context to provoke response, to manage their own other people's perceptions of them, stuff like that. Your goal is to enjoy life. Oh no. If you are enjoying life, you are definitely not having a serious enough goal. Your goal needs to be to put in years and years of suffering in order to attain some mastery in some important thing. If anything anime has taught me, it's that.
Wow, I feel like I was gonna say my goal, but now like anime compared to anime stuff, it's like some simplistic.
Well, what I learned from anime is that my goal needs to be that my goal is to become the strongest Mya. Okay? That's really the only acceptable goal as far as I can tell according to anime. So I'm going to be the strongest weed smoker.
I think you are.
I got a chance. I'm in the running.
So my goal is to wear my heeled shoes more often.
You got to be the strongest at that.
Yeah.
You got to be elite.
I'm gonna be the strongest in wearing shoes with heels.
Okay, so it's important to be either arcane class or special elite class. So we want to attain that, The only way to live right is to have a clear, singular path and train yourself nearly to death in order to become the best. My goal is to adopt a TE frame more often. That's actually my goal too. Legends Fall. I'm trying to do it right now with this song. We are, pecking away at it. I want to do a couple things differently with the EQ a little bit because it gets a little muddy in spots, and it could use a little upper mids too. Okay, leaf trimmer, why are you so susceptible to believing right-wing conspiracies? Like, why would you think that the Capitol riots were staged? By whom? Antifa? I mean, the thing is, I'm not saying Mya or Mya or Mya is responsible for the Capitol riots. I'm just saying they did occur, right?
Please. Talk about Cobra Kai for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about politics right now. Cobra Kai.
That's politics in my life.
Wow. Wow, 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 is all I can say about that. We are 5 episodes in, 4 episodes in,
No.
4 or 5 episodes
4 or
in,
5, yeah.
and it is intense. It's like, first of all, they do this great job of incorporating the old movies and characters and the actors who played them from the old movies.
Yep.
So, like, now remembering that I'm on episode 4 or 5, if you're not that far along, you want to watch it, there may be some spoilers upcoming, so please close your ears temporarily. People get visited first by Secret Service for just typing something suspect. Capitol is the most secure place ever. Even employees are often not let in. Well, if in fact, like, whatever. What counts as suspect? Look at all the shit I spew all the time.
Is this a part of his goals?
Yeah, is this your goal?
Yeah.
I'm on the new season. I mean, who cares really? Anyway, it's not like it was an actual insurrection or a coup or whatever. It was just more boiling over outrage that's been generated from a number of different factors. Okay, well, all I want to say about it, that INTJ, is taking me about 2 minutes here is all. I just want to say it was a big shock that they incorporated 2 of the girls from Karate Kid 3 and the dude he fought against in Karate Kid 3 in the most recent episode when he goes to Japan. It was just like jaw-dropping moment after jaw-dropping moment.
Yeah, I'm like, F.I.
And so F.I., yeah. Oh, my God. The scene where he's talking to that Japanese chick about, when she's reading him Mr. Miyagi's last letter. Oh, my God. It's just...
No.
I was just like the anime characters. Just streaming down my cheeks. Formal hot. Your goal is usually finish your work so you can go home and drink. Try not to drink so much. It's not good for you, really. Because you know why? You can't multitask. Drinking is an all-encompassing activity. It's like you don't really get anything else done besides drinking if you're drinking.
Honestly,
that's my experience anyway.
All the lushes that I know stay home and watch television and drink.
Yeah.
Because you can't do anything else.
But don't let me judge you at all, because I know that everybody has their own relationship with all of their substances, and the last thing anybody needs is somebody else butting in their relationship with their substance. So I apologize right now for even going there. My bad.
Everyone's different.
Everyone has their own relationship with their own substances, and there's no point in anybody else judging them, because everybody's got something like that in their own life.
To be judged on that, no one.
The riot could have been much worse, though. People had intention of kidnapping and maybe killing a few senators. At least a few did. Well, I mean, it's people who've got no ability to project forward how their actions are going to play out, clearly. What are they imagining is going to happen? How are they going to imagine it's just going to play out, you know? I'm glad that didn't happen, too. Hero Lamb, would you be disappointed if your karate master turned out to be tall and young? I'm going to answer that no. Okay, now that's an acceptable goal. To beat the Tomb Raider games, you're going to have to raid a lot of tombs. And everybody knows that tomb raiding is a very moral act.
Is it?
Yeah, it's one of the most moral things we can do is to liberate antiquities from Egypt. The Egyptians disagree, but I'm convinced it's the case. We can't leave those priceless antiquities in the hands of those savages.
I'm shaking my head no. You can't.
I need a beverage other than coffee because I'm about to die from dehydration. Would you like something from the fridge, Rachel? Oh, well, my soda. I forgot how to say that.
Yeah, me too.
Where's your soda? Oh, my soda's outside? Yeah, this is
I
your
guess
soda.
so. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I'll be right back with my soda.
Howdy doody party people. Ooh, Eric Strauss is a party person.
Big girl you're getting to be.
Yeah. Did you see the picture that I took of it with Mickey?
Oh, no, I don't think I did.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm back and I'm better than ever talking about your goals and what's wrong with them. Utter Self says Rachel Meep Moop.
Is that from I believe that's from Rick and Morty.
Oh. I agree, Utter Self. It would be a good movie plot. 3 dudes in masks in the basement staring at their kidnapped senator thinking, what the hell do we do now? You know, or executing their actual plan, which is like, so now we just need to make our demands known. And so they make some demands. And of course, those demands are ridiculous and impossible demands that aren't going to be met. Things like change the U.S. Constitution to acknowledge the sovereignty of each individual citizen or something like that, you know. And the authority is going to go, we aren't going to deal with you in this fashion. And then they're going to figure out where they are. And then there's going to be a SWAT team. And maybe not, the senator dies.
Wow. Intense.
It's like, but the thing is, if you have a plot of some sort like that, it should be pretty obvious that's how it's going to turn out. Who thinks it's going to turn out differently than that? What do they think is going to happen? You know, it's like everyone in the country goes, wow, talk about a wake-up call. Now I understand why these violent thugs are right. No, that's not going to work. Now that they've kidnapped somebody and committed acts of violence, they make a lot more sense to me.
What are the difference between resolutions and goals?
Well, a resolution is, it's a good question. It's a very good question. I'm going to Google that question. A resolution and a goal. Resolution, a firm decision to do or not do something. Goal, the object of a person's ambition or effort, the aim, an aim or desired result. Goals provide a direction to follow to achieve a desired outcome. Whereas resolutions are firm decisions to follow a given course of action. So it's like the goal of getting to Mount Wilson on foot requires that I resolve to hike up the mountain.
Ah.
Right. The real twist is when you find out later the senator is just as dumb as you. You're like, tell me the truth. And he's like, it's those damn Republicans. And it's just like, oh, you're just another one of those fucking retards. Believe because everything the right wing does bad at stage, however, NT was completely real, correct. Look, the point is, groupists, groupie groups are groupists, groupie groups, and obviously do stupid groupist group things. So,
Well, you have a goal of getting new flip-flops.
I do have a goal of getting new flip-flops. Now all I need is the resolve to go to the store and acquire them.
Yep.
One way to purportedly assert at least one's resolve is to make a resolution. A New Year's resolution. It doesn't have to be New Year's, of course. It could be a January resolution.
Ah.
Since it's not New Year's any longer. It's not New Year's Day anyway.
No.
I think come March or April, I'm going to start saying Happy New Year to people. The year hasn't started yet, according to me. I'm on my own calendar, is the thing.
You're not the only one who thinks that, actually. There's I saw either in the Washington Post or the New York Times that people feel like it's just continuation of 2020.
Well, right now it's a blender. After a blender, we have meander. It was the next 2 months. And then we have April.
Yeah, and then it'll be officially a year since I've been here.
Well, it's already been a year, really. So, but you've been gone part of that time.
Yeah.
Groupie doopie doo.
Yeah, we're with it.
Groupie doopie doo is the name of the most groupist group in history.
Groupie doopie doo?
Welcome to Groupie doopie doo. We are racist against everything. All right? We're racist. We're sexist. We're groupist against political group on both sides concurrently. We hate Vikings, of course. Everybody hates Vikings. We hate women and we hate men. And hermaphrodites.
And how you come from all ground?
We hate gay people, bisexuals, straight people. All why? Because they're members of their group. So they deserve our hatred. We claim singular group primacy. Our belief is that a group is like an explanation. Only one can be right. And it's us. Groupie doopie doo. That's why we have such a serious name.
It is a very serious name. You really have to follow through.
Other self, it doesn't work like that. I like to leave the New Year's resolution until the end of the year. That way I can just decide to do the thing that I already did and pat myself on the back. That doesn't require any resolve. That just requires memory and lying to yourself. Now listen, the question, a much more important question, are groupie doo anti-groupists? They're only anti-groupists when the groupists form a group. When the anti-groupists form a group. Then groupie doopie doo is opposed to any anti-groupist group but they aren't opposed to anti-groupists, groupists in and of themselves, because they're saying, I'm not any of the things you hate.
What about, how do you deal with the fact that the sound of the name of the non-group group, it sounds a lot like Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? So
No, it's Groupie Doopie Doo. It's a big difference.
Right, but
big difference.
But the tune does sound the same to me, at least.
Well, I mean, like rock and table sound the same. Maybe like rock and table sound the same.
Okay, so.
But Groupie Doopie Doo, if it does sound the same, it's taking advantage by making an homage to something we all know and love.
Okay. Well, that is the answer that I was looking for. Thank you.
Okay, fine. You get a groupie snack. We do give groupie snacks out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Groupie Doopie Doo snacks.
Mm-hmm. But that's only if you're willing to go examine the haunted mansion.
So you have a haunted mansion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Groupie Doopie Doo.
You don't like to be associated with Scooby Doo.
No, we don't. It's incidental. They're totally incidental things.
Yeah. I
coincidental. Our haunted mansions have nothing to do with Scooby Doo's mystery solving mansion. Our groupie snacks have nothing to do with Scooby Doo Scooby snacks. The fact that our leader's name is Greggy and he has a dog named Groupie Doo is irrelevant. Okay.
I can respect that. I respect that there's the differences there. When I hear Groupie Doopie Doo, I want to finish it off with, where are you?
Well, that's our ad campaign. You know, we're Groupie Doopie Doo. Where are you? Why aren't you part of our group? Our group hates all groups a lot. So whatever your rage is, whatever your anger is, we're here to help you express it in toxic and awful ways. Here at Groupie Doopie Doo. You know what our other motto is? Come on, gang. We can do it if we try.
Okay. So.
Yeah, I won't forget about Gelma. I haven't forgotten about Gelma, our Vice President Gelma.
Gelma? Vice President Gelma?
Yeah, and our Director of Operations, Gred. You know. We have Greggy. We have his dog, Groupie.
Groupie Doo?
We have Gelma. We've got Gred. And, of course, Graffney.
So, what don't you consider to be a group? Are these not part of a group? Because I believe that they are.
No, Groupie Doopie Doo is the only non-group that there is.
Yeah.
That's our whole point, is that just like explanations, only one group can be right, and that's us. And so we have to hate all the other groups.
Is it hard to get into your group?
Depends. How many other groups do you hate?
So wait, there's a limit. You can't just so you can't be.
We have a long checklist.
Groupist. You can't. So a person can't claim to be groupist if they just oppose one thing.
No, we don't hate groupists per se. We hate groups.
Okay, so
some people might say we are groupists, but we are universally groupist, thereby avoiding indiscrimination.
Oh, so you, at the same time, are universally groupist and non-group.
Well, because we're universally groupist, we're non-discriminatory.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we, in fact, a group? Yes. But our mission statement states that only one group, like an explanation, can be correct. That's why it's our job to hate all the other groups, because we're clearly the one that's correct.
What is your group's goal?
Our goal is to to just spread the word that Groupie Doopie Doo is here, accepting new members, that there are extensive dues to be paid, and there's a tithe. Okay, it's both dues and a tithe. There's also a application fee that's non-refundable. Be aware of that.
Application fee that's non-refundable?
Yes.
So the person really has to be pretty serious.
Those are indeed what we call groupie dues, right? Note, we are no longer accepting any Groupons. Okay. Some people still have those old Groupons from when we tried that out that time. We regretted that. We are not accepting any more Groupons. Do not come here and say, I've got the Groupon that excuses me from the dues. That Groupon is no longer valid. Okay. Look, Groupie Doopie Doo is the ultimate evolution, the final evolution of my previous organization, RAVE, Racist Against Vikings E. You know, well, what happened was 23andMe came around, and we realized that everybody's a little bit Viking.
Oh, yeah?
And that was kind of the motivation for our worldwide hatred plan. So today's discussion, how can we hate more hatefully? Dulles, you had a suggestion. Right, use more slurs. Great. Okay, anybody else? Hero Lamb. Wonderful notion. Yes. Attack the person, not the idea. Great job. What are some other ways we can diminish those that we're speaking with so that their ideas don't have to be heard? Anybody? Right, make fun of their physical appearance. Good idea. I'm not really into hate. To be perfectly honest, I oppose it. I've decided, after giving it a long thought, I've decided to oppose hate and nuclear war. What the hell? Why not just go for both? I'm opposing nuclear war while I'm at it. There's a growing trend of UFO news. Yeah. Okay, so listen, Leaf Trimmer, let's use this UFO thing of yours as an experiment, okay? Based on the trend you see and the extrapolations that your intuition is making, what sort of time frame are we looking at? At what point would you say, oh, I guess that they must have changed their plans? You know, at what point do you tell us they must change their plans? How long before this manifests? Groupie goo. It's a hate group that hates all groups non-discriminatorily, on the grounds that being a member of a group disqualifies you from the protections of being an individual that would normally be afforded. The only exception being a member of groupie goo. And then the reason you're justified in hating everybody else is because only one group can be correct, and it's us. It's kind of a complicated justification, but I think, you know, if you take some of our literature, you'll be convinced. I would say Richard Moon, to be perfectly honest, is more of a meta-hate group. It's a meta-hate group. No, well, I mean, you should contact Meta Homeland Security probably. So, you know, the thing is, if you like conceptual art, Richard Moen, think about honking. So anyway, naturally, my hate group, my meta hate group, won't actually practice any hatred per se. It's more of an exercise in being part of a group that proclaims to be a predominant group and experiences the rich, satisfying, ambiguity-free juice um, of hate clarity.
Would you call your shirt
Oh no, very ambiguous shirt.
ambiguous? Yeah.
Highly ambiguous shirt. This shirt represents all the different shades of my anus that change races.
Wow.
You'll notice that most of them are in the cerulean family.
Yes.
Yeah. But when I'm Asian Pacific Islander, that's where this color comes in right here.
Wow. Things you never knew before.
Hating being part of a group is important to being part of a group. Thoughts on group sex? Well, I don't want that group to include me. Or Rachel.
Thank you.
Regarding that, people do what they're going to do, you know? It's not my job to police other people's sexual behavior. Who's Rachel? My Woper child. Why do I call her a Woper child? Well, it's the most woke way of saying it. Because Rachel's not a woman. That includes the word man. She's not a woe person because that includes the word son. We're going to take all the masculinity out of the word. Call her a Woper child. Ever notice how he exaggeratedly puffs his cigarettes? Nicholas Watson, what is up with you and your periodic attacks on me? Do I exaggerate?
It's periodic. I noticed that too. It's only periodic.
Do I exaggeratedly puff on my cigarettes?
He really doesn't. That's
Even
not how
if-
he smokes.
Even if I did, even if I were using cigarettes as some sort of FE display, so what?
Yeah.
No group pooping. Group pooping is dupe to dupe whooping. Yeah, I've been smoking Reds for a while now. I'm very brand loyal. I never smoke anything else really unless they're out of Reds, which kids got hundreds.
So my grandma Lapalos used to drink Marlboro Red Hundreds. Been longer, right?
Yeah, she smoked them though. She didn't drink them.
I said she used to drink.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Reds are worse than alcohol? Well, Nicholas Watson, I think you misread that actually. I don't think I exaggeratedly puff my cigarettes. I think if you were to observe me when I'm not on camera, and by myself, I smoke exactly the same way. How much does a pack cost here? $10, give or take. American spirits are gross. You need the nice chemical bite of a Marlboro Red, of an American Marlboro Red, and I'll tell you something else. The thing is, Legends, Fall, and Leaf Charmer both, I value NI a lot. My rejection of your simplistic explanations is not because of my ignoring an eye or weak an eye. It's because my NI is stronger than both of yours. So I am able to understand the limitations thereof. That'd be Rachel doing the coughing, Richard Moen. Now, if you are interested in playing along with the Rachel coughs smoke along game, that means it's time for a bong rip. Every time Rachel coughs, time for a bong rip. So I will play today, Rachel cough bong rip game. Oh, when I'm making up silly nonsense, yeah, that's not NI. You're right. Well, that's any. If it's successful, if it's funny, then it probably resonates on some NIFE level, But I agree that when I'm just riffing off stuff and making jokes, it's much more expert intuition. I mean, it's designed to be received, right? So it's taking verbal action. All right, time for bar rip.
I'm gonna change into something that I'm going to change to something
a little more comfortable.
Yeah. Even this is hella.
Richard Moen, I believe the word you're looking for is seasoned. Fair enough, leaf drummer. Fair enough. The thing is, though, Farmer hot. What I will say is that weed helps to counteract the effects of cigarettes. So, insofar as cigarettes are bad for your lungs, weed protects your lungs from cigarettes. This is one of Eric's notions, okay? Can I back this notion up? No, not really. A little teeny bit, but I just have a feeling. Chimney sweep for that bong? I don't believe in cleaning my bong. In fact, I don't even believe in changing the water. Who knows how old this water is? It's hardly even water anymore. It's just this black sludge. Know the feeling thing? Be careful. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Feels like something I should pay attention to. I really don't know what you're referencing. Eric, where do you recommend an INTP who wants to get into debate starts? If they're already an adult, there really aren't any adult debate leagues or anything. I'd be potentially interested in filling a role in one, but it's difficult to say. So, have I played GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 5? No, I have not. Hey, talk about typology and comedians. Is that your goal? Okay, I'll talk about typology and comedians. George Carlin was an ENTP. What's his name? That guy who did Louis, but then got busted for taking his penis out. Louis C.K. I think Louis C.K. is an INFJ or possibly an ISFJ or probably an INFJ. Dave Chappelle and INTP, I agree. Emo Phillips is probably an INFP, could be an ENFP. I did debate police before. I would be happy to do that. I'd be happy to judge and moderate debates. If there were two parties who wanted to debate something specific, I could make a video saying, putting up a resolution and saying, if I get two people who'd like to debate this, I'd like to host and moderate this debate. and talk about it after the fact and stuff, I think it's a good idea. What's the meaning of life, Dad?
What I got.
Lycra
Those
pants.
shorts that you like. Remember when I first came here and you're like, would you like me to get a pair of like shorts like this? And I was like, no. Well, I got them and they're great.
Turn around, let me see. Look at that. Look like a bicyclist.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, Pee-Pee.
What's the meaning of life?
Thank you, Pee-Pee.
Yeah,
What do you think Pee-Pee's goals are?
I been thinking about the cat some lately. It seems like the cat has a very great deal of SI going on. Right?
She really does.
She seems to constantly be eating, sleeping, or grooming herself.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, she's frolicking around and playing, and some of the time, she's loving us. So, what I see in her is, I guess, what but see, I think it's kind of like all cats seem to have a lot more SI going on than people do. They spend a lot of time cleaning themselves. Some cats more than others, but
yeah, some cats more than others. I knew a cat that would just sit on the steps the whole day. It would go to eat, but that really would sit on the steps the whole day.
Tiny Man 66 is hungry, so somebody send her a couple of hamburgers, please.
I feel like me sitting next to you is
it's totally fine. I just, I just have a tendency to make a mess, so I just have to clean shit up a little bit before you come sit over here. And that's fine.
I don't think it was a mess. It was just you had your things near you.
There.
Hey guys.
I knew a cat that raped a mouse. The cat's name was Eric.
Oddly enough, I am a mouse in Chinese astrology, but Eric and I have consensual.
I'm a pig.
Sexual.
Intercourses.
So.
How does that? A cat that raped a mouse sounds like a terrible children's book.
It does.
I agree, it does. There are literally over 100 million cats in the United States. Doesn't surprise me. There's over 100 million people, and not every person has a cat, but not every cat is owned by a person.
Yeah, there are a lot of strays.
So that complicates things a bit, doesn't it? So, are we placing bets on Richard Mellon? Most of those cats were on the properties we worked on. Sometimes antifreeze was discussed. Oh, that's sad. Don't say that.
People would do that.
That's enough cats for building the cat pit. What's the cat pit?
Yeah, what is the cat pit? I hope the cat is nice.
It's a pit made out of cats that you get thrown into.
I find that if the cat's supposed to live, it will live. Survival of the fittest when it comes to cats.
Well, Turkle doesn't seem to be owned by anybody, and he seems to be doing fine. He came over for breakfast this morning.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I fed him.
I have a feeling that the new people next door are feeding him too, which is nice.
Saleh the Icelander. Hey.
Hey.
How's Iceland treating you? Icelandically?
We can only hope.
We can only hope. What does it mean to do something Icelandically? with a certain joie de vivre.
Joie de vivre.
Just a room full of cats.
You know, in Japan, they have cat cafes.
Yeah, where they just have a bunch of cats there to
Yeah.
hang out with.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It is nice.
Well,
Our kitty is a queen because she's fixed. Is that what we call it with the female?
yeah. Richard Moan could restrain himself no longer, I guess.
Eek.
Remove that and we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Oh,
We'll play along for a little while longer. You want to go to Iceland or the cat pit?
or the cat cafe.
Desert INTJ, there is no place I'm allowed to go that I do not wear a mask. In other words, do you think we don't wear a mask to go into the weed store? Of course we do. It's required. They wouldn't let us in otherwise.
Yeah.
A lot of weed stores will take your temperature too.
Mm-hmm.
I need to start wearing a mask inside.
Well, I was talking to Eric about this the other day. Like, I'm really wondering how weddings will be from here on out. Like, are people gonna like gather together and wear masks? Do you have to wear masks to
They
have a
aren't
gathering?
really saying that, are they?
What?
You have to wear it at home now. It's ridiculous.
No.
I want to know what Midnight Blue meant when she first came in, or they, I don't know what gender, but when they first came in, they said, maybe she removed it. No, they say when there's a message retracted.
Yeah.
No, the
Be
feeling
careful.
thing, be careful. Be careful about what? That's what I want to know.
I'd like to know what too.
There's a great opportunity to start wearing kabuki theater masks around the house. Otherwise, there never will be a reason.
So, recently I bought some black skirts for myself because I want to wear like skirts with sweatshirts and pullovers over them. So I was thinking about buying shapewear. So I did. But in the description, I didn't read it correctly. It says shapewear, but for your butt. And it makes your butt bigger. So I'm getting shapewear that makes your butt look bigger instead of hold your gut in. I'm hoping it does both, and I can take the pads out, and just wear them as regular underwears.
I think the key thing about this whole, like, how to think about stuff, right? Look at the issue of whether the virus was man-made or not, okay? My intuition said, after I did some research, that despite the conventional story despite the mainstream story that was told over and over again in all mainstream media outlets that it was not man-made, that it was not released from a lab, my intuition said, I think there's a decent chance it was. And when I did enough research, I found that, in fact, nobody was lying to us, quote unquote. The mainstream media sources were all saying the same thing. Experts have concluded, yeah, and they were all citing the same couple of experts who concluded it for very dumb reasons. And when you actually dug to find the reasons, note what they were not doing. They were not making shit up. Okay? They were managing the framing. My intuition was right. It's probably from a lab. And now that story's coming out. Note the difference between what I intuit and what you're intuiting. So I'm intuiting something in which my intuition can possibly have a chance to be correct. It's about something very specific, and it's about a very specific question of the origin of that very specific thing. Your intuition is making vast leaps and bounds over things. When you say, like, well, there's been an uptick in alien stories, and therefore, in addition, that in conjunction with this article I read someplace that hypothesized something equivalent, has caused me to conclude that they're planning something. That's not the same kind of good intuition that I'm using, right? My intuition proved to be correct. I was right about COVID from the outset. I was right up, and then when I tried to turn my attention to the issue of whether it was actually man-made, I was right about that too, which is I made a modest claim, namely that we don't know, but that it's just as likely that it was man-made as not, and it's being broadly said everywhere that it's not, and I was correct. So the thing is, good intuition is intuition that is limited in its scope such that it can be correct.
Oh, PNP. Do you want to go down?
And you'll note that it didn't require any they, right? There's no they involved in my intuitive correctnesses. It doesn't require that anybody be purposefully meowing the meow or whatever, except for China, of course. But that's very obvious that they're doing that shit. I mean, there's things you can know, and there's things you can't know, and there's things in between. The point is, when your intuition is telling you that they, quote unquote, whoever they are planning something, then you are not intuiting wisely, because to correctly intuit about what they are doing, you have to identify who they are and why it is they share a common goal, and that's just and how it is that they bypass the laws of reality to pull strings so effectively in such a complex, chaotic system. You know, it's like good thinking pays attention to the scope and scale of the claims being made across the board. Good intuition does the same thing. Andre Z's goals are meow. You need to see the perspectives. I mean, look, the thing is, I keep track of this shit. So it's like, I keep track of what I'm saying, how something's going to play out, and whether I'm right or wrong. There are things that I've been definitively wrong about. Trump being elected, the first election. To the day it happened, I was convinced there's no fucking way.
My dad too.
So I was dead wrong about that. But there are many more instances. But see, that was one of those things where I never really looked into it. I just sort of, my gut said no. But my gut was wrong, okay? I was right about gold back around the Iraq war invasion. And, you know, I was right about COVID. And I'm right about it being man-made. I'm right about evolution. I'm right about cognitive function. Doesn't happen all that often, but yeah, my friend Corey was right about that. He made a lot of money off Bitcoin.
You know what? Bitcoin fooled me. I really thought that was a gimmick.
I mean, I believed in it, but I didn't have the TE. I was too TE countervaluing. Interestingly, my INFJ friend Corey had sufficient TE to make it happen back when it was difficult to get, you know? You had to go through some meow. He told me how to do it. He recommended I do it. I was just like, sounds hard. I potentially had the money to invest in, I think, too, but you know, that's just my life. It's, I don't know, my fate or my destiny or something to some sense always be the bridesmaid, never the bride, because a lot of people around me have gone on to do some pretty impressive things. You know, I've got an impressive coaching legacy. Bitcoin's at 26,000 euros now. Jesus fucking Christ. Are you serious? Wow. Bitcoin just shot way up.
Wow.
Or, I mean, like, last I heard it was like 10 grand a coin or something, or 15 or something. But now it's 26,000 euros, which is more than $26,000.
Wow.
Viruses have protein components. Amino acids are proteins. Where do amino acids come from? Amino, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, where do Hollywood films come from? Hollywood.
Here you go. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the amino acids goals are?
Something biological. You know, to meow with the meow to make some meow or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. The meow, and then like another.
Some sort of biological stuff. Physical stuff. What does it matter about?
Biology.
Stupid space object shit.
That we don't understand.
Amino acids is just another thing to trip over.
True.
As far as I'm concerned, amino acids are just another object in my way. No, it's still an open question. But that was my claim, David Sanderson. The thing is, I made the very limited claim that it's about 50-50 or so. You know, it just as easily could be from a lab as not. And yet, what's broadly being said as the predominant story is that it's definitely natural. And when I looked at the argumentation of it, I determined that no, that's bullshit. It doesn't sustain at all. My instincts were right. This argumentation doesn't sustain. I'm not seeing any answers to the actual arguments, though. So I parsed it all the fucking out, and I made a video on it, in fact. My claim was limited in scope. Why is it that my intuition, therefore, can be so good? Well, in large part, it's because I understand the importance of limiting the scope of one's claims. Amino acids are the building blocks for COVID. All right, that's it. I want a full-scale war against amino acids.
Oh, me too.
This nation needs to declare a war on amino acids.
Is that groupist?
It depends on what color the amino acids are.
Oh.
Yeah. Amino acids are the building blocks of COVID. Prove me wrong. The thing about prove me wrong is that's backwards. No, you prove yourself right. No, I'm not limiting the scope of my intuition. I'm limiting the scope of my claims. Big difference, right? So my intuition was that COVID, this whole big COVID scare, was going to amount to nothing, right? My intuition about how people were going to behave in response to it was wrong. I never thought that people would go this crazy over this shit. So in that regard, just like I never thought Trump would be elected, I was dead wrong about that. However, I didn't make a lot of big, bold claims about that. I just sort of said, I'm sure they're not going to do that. I said things like that, you know. I wasn't really arguing it. I just was in kind of disbelief as thing after thing got canceled, you know. But what I said right from the get-go about the virus itself, that the response was incredibly disproportionate to the threat comparatively to other viruses, that you are unmodded. Well, you don't look like a mod to me, but sure. Say something, and then I'll unmod you. How good do you think Biden will do as president? It doesn't show you as a moderator. And it still leaves me the option to add you as a moderator. The thing is, the important thing is to moderate your claims. So what I mean by that is Trump's instincts were basically right about COVID, but he didn't make the right statements about it, and that was the problem. The difference between good intuition and bad intuition is not necessarily the correctness of the intuition's general vibe, but whether or not it manifests in defensible statements. I'd like to have a president that is at least big enough to push someone down. I'm 6'4". I've been in this chat over like 7 different streams, and they all have the same issue. Well, why don't you? So you removed yourself as moderator, right? Can you unremove yourself as moderator? Then let me remove you as moderator. I don't know then, Octavius Silva. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a need to go poo. Pretty soon, I'm going to have to go poo. I can feel it building in my colon, growing like a flower garden in rich, loamy manure. Mods can't make mods. Mods cannot make mods.
They can enjoy me folding while you poo.
Okay, that sounds good. Freestyle rapper about Trump. Well, I'd have to drop a beat, I suppose. I have really good TI. Do you, Cedric Beachy?
Thank you, baby.
How do you know? And don't freestyle rap about anything. You're 49 years old age, sir. You know, that doesn't matter to me. People say age is just a number, but I think that that's a terrible expression. I think the right expression is people have a chronological age and an ontological age, and those are different things. No, I'm saying, dog.
Definitely. You have youthful energy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Don't you think? Actually, any of your shirts. Don't you think this top with like a skirt would look cute?
I think it would look absolutely adorable. I'm just like, oh my god, that would look so adorable. I can't even imagine how adorable it would look.
I love you.
Okay. I see. God damn it. Oh, I see what I should have done. That's the problem. I get it now. I see what I did wrong. I'm still learning this app somewhat. I should have done it in the beat baseline editor. Like this. It's a lot of kick. And that's how you waste a lot of time. That's how you start wasting a lot of time. You start fucking around with that thing, right?
Seriously.
It's
We
just
do that
like
for hours.
there's
getting different
just-
sounds.
you could spend forever doing that shit, trying to get something like, then you end up like taking one piece of it and putting it in Audacity and doing the rest of it in there. It's like, it's never a good idea to start with that app, really, for me. I should always start with just I just start with a straight up click track and build shit out of that,
A lot of
because
people do start like that.
yeah, I mean, I think if I were going to be more successfully using some sort of beat making device, it would have to have a physical entry component, like at least a MIDI keyboard or something.
Yeah. I like that sound.
Wait, so you still have the power? Is that what you're saying, Octavia Silva? Even though you're not a moderator anymore, you still have the power?
That's good. It's very Naruto.
Pretty impressive. Maybe you've become the strongest exorcist. Well, Jeebus, you like to say insulting things to me, so that's today's insulting thing.
No.
How much can I bench press? About 1,200 pounds. Granted, I use a mechanical lift to assist me.
Oh, Eric, you're so funny.
Thanks, darling. You made a song. It's electronic music. Good. I'm glad to hear that, David Sanderson. Would you like me to rap over it? Is that what you wanted, a freestyle rap about Trump?
That could be fun.
I could rap over your electronic music if you want. I could go rap, 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 rap. I like to rap, 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 rap. That's how I rap usually. Jeebus says, did you disagree with Eric on something and he got upset? To whom do you ask this question? Well, that sounds like a matter of opinion. Maybe it just requires a really slow rap like this. Rap. 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 These stripes make me look wide. Don't get a vertical striped shirt, you'll disappear. Really? I don't think it's that easy to disappear, Jeebus. If so, it wouldn't be so impressive to have an invisibility cloak. I should block everyone in the chat and Eric and come sit here in silence and meditate. Can you block me? I think you could mute your audio. And you could not look at it. In what sense would you actually be here, though? And you wouldn't really be here at all.
That makes me sad. Ooh.
Mods should be objective. Ideally, mods should make the right decision. And that's the bottom line.
Sometimes we do make mistakes and someone will get either like timed out or their stuff deleted. But then like usually the moderators learn from that.
Lo-fi rapping?
Lo-fi.
Like somebody said on YouTube, or saw on a video or something, how to make lo-fi beats. Don't try hard. Don't try.
Yeah.
It's like it's easy to make shit that sounds shitty. That's easy. Oh, my mods should be beta quadra. Legends Fall. I'd be perfectly happy making you a mod. The thing about making people mods at all is it always causes big mod talk. Mod talk is full of the fundamental issue of why are they a mod and I'm not? That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. It's never expressed like that, but that's what it boils down to.
It turns into groupism.
Well, yeah, it's like I don't know. I hate the idea of there being like special VIP group or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like that in general. I'm more egalitarian than that.
Yeah. And usually you make someone a moderator like to share something.
Yeah, and so I forget to take it off
Mhm.
alone.
Happens.
Yeah, it's like I like Legends Fall. I think he adds a lot, and he's you know, he also disagrees some too. You know, it's like
That's good.
which is a good thing as well. But and so I kind of it's like on sort of an FI level, I'd like to make him a mod. I like him, but then I have this big problem of having this big talk about, well, why did you make him a mod? Well, because I don't know, I felt fondness in the moment. You know, it's like that's not a very good reason. Oh yeah, I lift some heavy ass weights. Yeah, that's Rachel. You know, it's like earlier I was out there with all the weightlifting gear we got. I was doing bench presses, doing curls. I was doing those ones where you lift up your arms like this. I was doing pow pow pows, which is with 50-pound curling weights in each hand.
Wow.
Shadow boxing with 50-pound curling weights. You missed that part, huh?
Yeah.
I knocked the heavy bag off of its mooring. And it was welded with titanium.
You are so strong.
So strong.
No wonder Iron Man is an ENTP.
Yeah. The thing is, for trees that I can get my arms around, I can chop them down in one swing.
Wow. Now, is it because of like your super strength, or
just good genetics, just good genes?
Good genes.
Yeah.
What a lucky person.
Good genes and healthy living.
Do you keep your good genes to yourself usually, or do neighbors and family come into play, friends as well?
Well, they're always commenting, "Gosh, Eric, you really won the genetic lottery. Well, with your super strength, your laser eyes, invisibility, flight, and other powers, nobody else gets any of those things." I'm like, well, what can I say? I was born with the silver magic power in my mouth. I was born with the silver surfer's dick in my mouth.
That's pretty high up. He's got great genes.
Leaf trimmer, are you and Diamond getting into it again?
Uh-oh.
I don't mean to be just blaming it on the leaf trimmer, but I just have this sense that leaf trimmer is a little bit more responsible for the meatides all the time. Just stop.
There's
okay?
A reputation.
Just stop it right now. There is no reason to play twice daily slap fight with Diamond. I can see the link, but it's not the kind that will push. It's not the kind of link that will push. Noise. Sexy as a
really
plexiglass.
very nicely done.
What's something that could be made out of plexiglass that's sexy? Sexy as a plexiglass breast. Sexy as a plexiglass breast could be. Yeah. It's nice work there, Octavia Silva.
Yeah.
I'm looking like I'm about to pick up something gross.
Thanks, Winston's mom, for the link.
I'll tell you how to answer that question, Octavia Silva. You say, fuck yeah, I'm sexy as a plexiglass breast would be.
Plexiglass breast.
Mm-hmm.
Plexiglass breast.
Morrid's giving it on ABC right now. What's ABC? Where did Jean Grey go? Oh, I don't know.
I was talking to Eric about how one of the things I learned about the ins and outs of YouTubing is that people come in and out of the community. Even you, Jeebus, because you're not in here as frequently as you used to be.
The thing is, all over line hand, what you want to do is sit in a room with the heater cranked up as high as possible. Retain all that heat energy. You'll need it later for something. The funny thing is, the other day, Cloud came in here and he asked me, Eric, be honest. Have you missed me? And I said, no. And I guess that hurt his feelings and he went away. The thing is, it doesn't matter who asks me that question. With the possible exception of Winston's mom. If I don't see Winston's mom for a while, I'll be like, where's Winston's mom? I wonder where Winston's mom is.
Same.
But by and large, the answer is always no to that question. Just as it was when my second wife would ask me that question when she got home from work. Did you miss me? No, I did not miss you.
You're living together and stuff. It's like... How do you miss the person?
Well, it's a little different regarding the community here. Part of why I don't miss people is because why do you say this is not a rap beat? You could rap over it just like this, see. Very steady and very beat-like. With a march that makes your feet like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I like the tone of the wah 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 beat thing. It gets a little crowded. I don't think crowd is that negative of FI Tool. One, he wanted me to tell him whether I wanted him to leave forever or not. And I refused to play that game. It seems like such a strange question. I said, well, I'm not operating in your frame of reference, Cloud. You know, you fuck up and annoy me, and I'll ban you again. You know, just like I did your last account. It's as simple as it is. Well, I mean, but I think Octavio Silva, the key thing to note here is the fact that he tried to approach it with his tool function. Namely, well, how do you feel about me, Eric? I don't feel anything about the guy.
It's true. That's why I'm laughing.
So, I mean, those are strange questions to ask me.
Those are questions.
It's like I feel towards people things in the moment. Like earlier, a little while ago, I was feeling fondness towards Legends Fall. But, you know, feelings are just these things that happen to me in the moment. I don't think of them as persisting, really. Jeebus, listen. First of all, that was never your ball peen hammer in the first place. And second of all, no one touches my peen but Rachel.
Okay. Facts.
And Jeebus, no one touches your peen at all. So.
Would you like a yogurt?
I would love a yogurt.
Cool.
That would be yogurtiful.
What flavor would you like?
I would like strawberry.
Cool. That was the one I was going to get you.
I stand corrected, Jeebus. One person does. You really shouldn't. You're going to grow hair on your palms. You don't want to grow hair on your palms, do you? I shouldn't be surprised, but there are some weird people here. You're another one I feel a lot of fondness towards, Oliver Linehan. There are some weird people here, for sure. A lot of people might say that I am a very weird person. I don't feel like I'm a weird person, though. I feel pretty, like, not... too vividly weird, Jeebus. Keep your weirdness a little less vivid than that, please. I want you to place your weirdness under a sepia tone filter. The aspirational retentionist. The aspirational retentionist is a person who's always looking for more things to retain. In the context of humanity, you're a bit strange, Eric. Relative to the people who show up for these streams, you're quite normal. Well, I mean, I don't personally find myself to be actually eccentric. You know, there's this kind of character that is like Doc Brown or some other like bookish guy with glasses who, but Harry, I've got to, you know, like that kind of eccentric, scatterbrained professor kind of guy, right? I'm not that guy. That's just not me. And I think that if I'm going to be perceived as eccentric in terms of Jeebus, how many hours a week do I have to work before you don't state those lies about me?
That doesn't make a person eccentric. I mean, maybe it's an eccentric lifestyle to some degree, but more eccentricities are like quirks.
I mean, I think a lot of people make a lot of mistakes about me. You know, it's understandable that people want to put someone in a box of some sort to understand who they are as representative of some kind of pattern that they already understand, right? Here, I'll take that from you.
Thank you.
And the thing is, I do fit into various patterns that you can understand, but they're a little bit more complicated or complex, I guess, than the simple reductions that people tend to put me down to. You know, it's like, let me eat this. I mean, I think I provide a voice for and a home for a certain subgroup of intuitives that has trouble fitting in elsewhere, I guess.
I know I did. I liked coming to your streams because you interact with the streamers. You're not just like there to make everyone listen to facts. I mean, you do answer questions, but
All right, everybody. I've got today's list of 100 facts. Now shut up and listen. Fact. Listening to me is number one fact.
For some reason, I think that C.S. Joseph is actually really like that.
Should a fictional story have a cognitively function balanced cast? Yes, although I would say that doesn't necessarily mean have 16 characters, each representing one type. It just means like let's say you have two characters in a group that are going to have conflict. It might be, root that conflict in either, say, an ESFP, ENTP kind of conflict, or an ENTP kind of conflict. Like two ESTPs trying to be the ESTP in the same group are going to butt heads. It's mostly for extroverts, I think. It's not necessarily the case for introverts. Introverts don't necessarily find their place in the group exclusive because they're introverted anyway. I could be wrong about that.
I don't know. Sometimes I do feel like if me and Frank James were in a room, right, with you there too, that like being Frank James and I would butt heads on certain moral value things. We would agree on a lot of them, but that there would be like differences. Like he drinks alcohol. So
you'd both be the knowers is the problem.
Yeah. So
you both be knowing shit about each other.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. And then it would get to the point where it's like irritating. I think being with your other partner, like same type, yes. Like you said, brotherly, sisterly, like that kind of.
Well, I feel qualified to mentor ENTPs.
Yeah.
But I don't find that it's necessarily that I necessarily am going to engage well with the other ENTPs that I'm not engaging with in that particular relationship. No, Rachel's never been with Frank James.
No.
She was presenting a hypothetical situation.
Yeah, hypothetically.
As another INFJ, if she were to hang out with him, well, she sort of has a sense of what he talks about. She watches videos, so she can better hypothesize how that interaction would go.
Yeah, even before knowing I was an INFJ, there were some things that he said that like I was like, oh my gosh, it's so personal. Like I totally get that. I can't listen to that right now because I'm actually over that hurdle. Like or it just was like hitting me in the gut, as in like, oh shit, I have that to work on. So it's like a mirror, and who wants that all the time? I don't.
Let me explain something. People see with their eyes. Now, what does this tell us? That your eyes absorb light. But I've got a question. Where does that light go? Well, the answer is it seeps out your pores while you're sleeping.
Oh my gosh.
So, by sleeping in an extremely dark room, you can better retain the light that you absorb with your eyes.
Wow.
That'll bolster your semen retention and double the power of it.
You know what I learned? So the more and more excuse me, the more and more people from your lineage who take the 23andMe test, the more and more closer and more accurate like the data is.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandma McCurgan told me and my sister that we were predominantly Czechoslovakian. Well, the truth is that we're predominantly Polish, which makes sense because we would have Polish Easter every single year, and so it also makes me feel really calm because there's a lot of jokes about Polish being stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So I can just own it.
Well, Poland did invent both Poles and the po' boy sandwich. Little known fact.
Really? Okay.
No, Rachel.
See?
I mean, I've spent parts of my life doing that, David Sanderson, when I'm working on something, You're my brother, my long lost brother.
Was it too many Erics? One got lost.
How many pole locks does it take to screw in a light bulb? It's a category error. Poland yet to have installed electricity.
You know what, Leaf Trimmer? No, Eric's past life was not as a Nazi, and I do think I was a Polish Jewish girl, maybe. There's a good possibility of it, but my mom would be the Nazi, not Eric. Mm-hmm.
In my past life, I'm pretty sure I was a Russian Olympic medalist in figure skating.
Oh my goodness, that's such a high esteemed
I think her name was Antonia or something like that, I don't know, some sort of Russian name, Antanya or something Anyway, I don't know. I haven't scoured the records for Olympic medals pre-1971, but I'm pretty sure that somewhere in the 50s, a Russian figure skater that won a medal, that was me in a previous life.
I also believe I was a Canadian hockey player.
I was beautiful. I know that. I was gorgeous.
I'm sure you were so dainty and agile on the skating rink.
I don't think we disagree either, David Sanderson. That's the thing about everybody you're going to say is you're going to find that you're going to go, is this person be a really good debater? You'd have a lot of trouble finding a spot where we're going to disagree on and actually want to debate it. Listen, I'm not sure what I was before the Russian figure skater. I know I had affairs with a lot of different members of the Politburo. But I do know that in most of my past lives, I was a woman. I've been told that by a tarot card reader.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, you are very motherly. You're way more motherly than I am. I'm sweet, Like, I'm sweet with pee-pee, but, like, I don't know.
And definitely in one of my past lives, I was the
You
wife.
are a nurturer.
I was the wife of a covered wagon
Yes,
settler.
you were. You so were.
I had 7 kids. I died in childbirth in my 8th kid, actually.
No,
But
no,
while I was alive, let me tell you,
this year.
I mended a lot of clothes. I cooked a lot of meals.
That's a full life.
I dried a lot of tears. And, you know, after I died, my dirty rat of a husband remarried suspiciously quick. Turns out, I found out after I was dead, he was having an affair with the neighbor lady.
So
she was like 15 years younger than him.
Ooh. So that stuff used to happen back then too?
I guess. I didn't know it was happening. He said he had to go fix the hole in their bucket over, you know, every day. I have to go fix the hole in their bucket again. Why don't you just get them a new bucket, for God's sakes?
I have one more request for my birthday.
You want me to fix the hole in your bucket?
No.
Go ahead, tell me.
I'd like to live stream.
Oh yeah, sure. You can live stream.
Cool.
You Mad Bro says I would take Eric to the bar with me as a wingman. I think we would definitely pick up. Yeah, I'd be a good wingman. I'd be a good wingman because I'd be very confident because I'm in a relationship and I'm not actually trying to accomplish anything with these chicks.
No.
So I'd be extra smooth.
Yeah.
And
then
I just,
like, hey.
If you know, to the extent that they were, then as they started liking us together, at some point it would be let slip out that I got a girlfriend. You know.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I have to get back to my girlfriend.
Oh, dude, I got a bail. Oh shit, I got a bail. It's Rachel's birthday. My beloved, darling Rachel, the only woman I ever see with these two eyes. I'll leave you, man, and these two unidentified gender people alone together.
Look at that wingman hood.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been told in any sort of like tarot or anything that I was a gender, but I do want to have a reading with you at some point. Like, I think it would be fun. Also, we know so much about tarot at this point that it's like it'd be hard for someone to tell us something that we don't already know.
My magic age of 42 is ending tonight. I'll miss answering 42. You're going to be 43 years old? You mean tomorrow is your birthday?
Oh, really?
Happy birthday,
Happy
Gen
birthday.
43, huh?
Happy birthday. Early birthday. You're a Capricorn too, huh? Cool.
My IQ score is AX $$. Basically, I broke their test.
Oh, remember, actually, Eric is not a Taurus. He took the test for his zodiac sign, and he's a Gemini. I'm a Leo.
Well, it says you may be a Taurus, but you're not much like a Taurus because...
Yes. Yeah, it fit, though.
True.
It was all about communication.
Genexial. Does that make you the Antichrist? He was born on Friday the 13th.
Wow.
Is that instant Antichrist status?
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of Antichrists. You need a lot of Christ to counteract that.
Utter self too. Were you in the newspaper?
Was I in the newspaper? I was on my high school newspaper staff. I wrote important articles. I remember writing one really important article about the volleyball team, the girls' volleyball team.
Oh,
they had won a recent game. Yeah, rather than losing.
Oh, wow.
I indicated so in the article as well, offering both the score of the game and the name of the opponent.
That's good. That's good writing.
I don't currently remember the name of the opponent, but I covered all the deets. all the specs.
All that matters is that all the deeds and the specs are represented.
The girls' team won. They played against Mia. The score was Mia. The coach said they did well. We look forward to the next game.
At least you got to watch volleyball, too.
No, I didn't watch the game.
Oh.
I just reported on it. Because, you see, I just interviewed the players and stuff about the game. It wasn't that in-depth of an article. It was more like the volleyball team won. Not like, oh, what a great game that was. It was more informational than that.
Demonstrative.
Isn't the IQ test a measure of useless information? No, hot. No. It's a measure of useless pattern recognition. Big difference. Okay. Also a measure of useless objective deliberation styles.
You know what I like to think? You, as in a past life, you were Mozart, and I, in a past life, was Marie Antoinette because he wanted to marry Marie Antoinette, actually.
Okay, well,
She got
this
shipped
is a
off.
common problem, Rachel. I was in a past life somebody, but my name was Mozart.
Oh, damn it!
A lot of people think that meant I was
Amadeus.
I'm not that Mozart. No, my name was Joseph Mozart. Mozart.
Oh,
With a U.
I don't know.
With a U. So, you can't believe how often I got teased about that back when I was Joseph Mozart.
Eric does have a moon in Gemini. My 3 answers that I got off the quiz was Leo first, some Aries, and then Sagittarius with a dash of Sagittarius.
Give you a
My
TI
bad.
question for an ISTP to ask to ask an ISTP. Okay. If all frogs have pens and all pen havers watch baseball and some baseball watchers like hot dogs, can we conclude that some frogs like hot dogs? You can rewind and write it down. It'll be fine. It'll still be there. Greetings, Wisdom says
Lobster or shrimp?
goat. Some sort of magical goat.
Is that a...
You are correct.
Capricorn?
Legends follow. You are correct. Legends follow. The answer is no. You can't conclude that at all. Okay, so go find some lady to hump.
Yeah,
Leaf Charmer.
like,
Jeez.
take it out.
Just go. You know.
Do what most people do.
Yeah. That's why God invented Pornhub.
Exactly.
Okay?
Why didn't make us spell it out?
Listen, you want me to give you some search phrases? Shy girl filled in all her holes. I don't know. Whatever rocks your boat, you know.
Do I look like someone from BTS?
You meant to say thorny. That's a good recovery there, Leaf Trimmer. I like that. And you recover a few points for that recovery there. Good job. By the way, despite his objections to the contrary, that gentleman's name is clearly Gen Exil. And Gen Exil. You just ignore the things between the X and the IAL. That's how you pronounce his name correctly. Gen X Eel.
Gen X Eel.
Just ignore the ENN. You don't do porn and you don't do FAP. But why not?
actually, like, doctors say it's really important for you to fap. Because if you, like, store up too much semen, it's really bad for your prostate. Like, it's really bad for you. Like...
How about Grandma
Well, I shouldn't talk-
Grandma
I shouldn't
Peg's
talk.
step grand?
I don't mean to woman-splain something, but
Listen, here's your search term. Grandma Peg's step grandson at public library. Okay, just Google that. Okay,
please, someone Google that.
just Google it and make sure you open an incognito browser window first and Google that. Click videos. I'm sure you'll be thrilled by what you see.
I already am. I am. I don't even know it's up there.
Look, the Lord does a certain amount of smiting, okay? A certain amount. Not an infinite amount of smiting. If he smote people for masturbating, he'd have no time to do anything but smite. He'd be constantly smiting everybody.
I think Christ probably fapped, right? Or do you think that, like...
Yeah, he fapped. The thing is, what he looked at was, a painting of a woman, a veiled woman, whose curves could be seen beneath her shapeless shift.
Oh.
It didn't take much to be alluring back in the day.
I mean, Mary Magdalene was a prostitute. That could help things, I think, along.
If I'm being pegged by my mother's only daughter's only brother's wife, then who's most angry at me?
That's a good question.
In relation to me. Jesus had to take care of business too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He may or may not have had sexual intercourse with a sexual lady.
Yeah,
one never knows.
I'm not claiming that. What I'm claiming.
I mean, look, there's a period of his life. There's a period of his life that his Bible doesn't cover. During that period of his life, he could have gotten married and his wife died, and it just never got mentioned.
Yeah, I mean
that's possible. Okay. In fact, the reason she could have died, maybe he fucked her to death.
That means...
Do you often pet the snake during the free time? No, not really.
Leaf trimmer. I know.
Rachel, don't be insulted. I'm not taking any objection to that.
Okay.
You just, it's like what goes on in other people's heads and brains is their business.
No, it totally is. I don't mean to judge like that. I just...
Jesus was as pure as a baby's asshole.
I bet you that Jesus' asshole was probably pretty clean.
I think that...
I know. It's fine, Leaf Trimmer. You're fine. You're fine. I don't mean to be policing anyone. It sometimes comes out of me.
I think you were being a good girlfriend and protective of me or something.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so no stress. You and I are on the same page, as always. Maybe it was Jesus' habit of no fap that kept the bug up his ass about all those tables he'd flip and bitches he'd whip.
Wow, and there's another part that's another chapter that's missing. Where's Rumbler? Do you have that one?
No, the answer to the TI test was no. The answer to the TI test was no.
Yeah, it was no. Legends Ball got it.
Why do people always say Mary was a virgin and Jesus' father is God? I know Jesus is dead. His name's Ricardo. He lived with Jesus across the street from me. They gave me burritos on Christmas.
That's so nice of them.
Look, the thing is, God knew that for Jesus to really be special, it was important that he be born through a hymen. Because that's one of the few things that would make him truly unique among people. Nobody else has been born through a hymen. After all, to get the baby in there, you got to break through the hymen, right? Normally. Now, let's say you're able to transubstantiate your God semen directly into a woman's vagina. Well, then you could leave that hymen intact. And that enabled Jesus to get his magic powers. That's where he got them from, is busting through a hymen on its way out of a vagina. The only man to ever go both in and out. So maybe because he went out through a hymen, that's why he didn't need to hump during his lifetime. It was like full 100% sexual satisfaction. If all frogs have pens and all pens havers watch baseball, then you're on some good drugs, buddy. And some baseball watchers like hot dogs. Can we conclude that some frogs like hot dogs? No. You can't.
Oh my god, I'm such a dork right now. What's going on in my life? Okay.
Here's another TI question. When there are anal beads in my pudding, it's because your mom left them there. However, when there are anal beads in the mashed potatoes, those belong to grandma. If there are neither anal beads in the pudding nor the mashed potatoes, then chances are the anal beads are in their respective anuses. I've checked the mashed potatoes, and there are no anal beads in them. And I've checked the pudding, there's no anal beads in it. Where are the anal beads? How does Freud apply to his Oedipal complex theory to Jesus Christ? Does he? I mean, what's his theory about the Oedipal complex anyway? Everyone wants to fuck their mom? I mean, it's such bullshit. Who wants to fuck their mom? Is that basically what the Oedipus complex theory is?
Does that go for girls too?
Who knows? I wish psychologists would just use simple language like that, right? So what's your theory, Freud? Okay, let me nutshell it for you. Everybody wants to fuck their mom. Okay, thank you. I understand now what you're trying to say. And I disagree with it, but at least you're clear.
Anal beads? You know what? I think Chuck Palahniuk, the guy who wrote Fight Club, is like weird because he wrote a whole book about anal beads. Like, what?
They are a funny topic.
I mean, yeah, they are. But it was like really gross. I saw the movie. Can't tell you much about it, except he played the guy in the book is a sex addict.
You
It
know,
wasn't terrible, but anal beads was a huge part of the book.
you know, Malcolm X had a younger brother who was famous for being a bit of a mama's boy. He was known as Oedipus X. And yeah, and he really loved his mother.
Oh my god! I really am showing my like Polish heritage right now.
I've got a question. If every answer to every question were yes, then would that mean that contradictions are possible? It would make them inevitable.
Can I give you a kiss?
It would make them inevitable, but you also could never answer a question regarding their existence. I don't like embarrassing Rachel. It's not true. I don't mean to embarrass
I walked
her.
right into that. I was talking. I was saying how on 23andMe I found out that I am like 20% Polish, something like that. And it makes sense to me because, like, I'm a bit of a ditz. I am. Everyone's like, no, don't say that about yourself. I'm like, I'm saying it because it's kind of true.
Horse mumbler, the thing is, just because you can only answer questions with the answer yes doesn't mean that contradictions don't exist. It just guarantees they will. However, you'll have to answer the question, do contradictions not exist, with yes. Eric, true story here. I used to wear a pair to work and enjoyed life well until one night I had beef chili. Needless to say, the next morning work was a mess. I don't work there anymore. Are you talking about anal beads?
Oh, yeah.
Ew.
I had such a visual there. Yeah, I'm saying about Pollux.
If I were somebody who were in gay porn and I didn't want people to just say that was my job, I'd say I'm in the seminary.
That's very like a very well established place. So to say you're in the seminary, people really look up to you.
Right.
Like, oh, that's impressive.
Well, because what they don't realize is the same word is used both for the place where you learn about God and religion, and the place where you receive all the semen.
Perfect. You want me to get your neck?
No, I'm okay. I'm just yawning it a little bit.
Anal beads are not ripcords to start your partner's day. You know some people do, though. You know some people start it like that. It's just...
No, literally, I didn't say that. I said go for it. You should listen to what I actually say.
Yeah, no, you're totally fine.
Go ahead. You know, how are we going to know? Except for you telling us.
Right. I guess why I was like, oh, like, I don't really talk about who I fab. I guess I thought.
You know, I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I'm by myself fapping, I'm thinking about Margaret Thatcher. You know, I had nudes of her once. I lost them. I've been remembering them for decades since.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to give me a name and then I would have to research her. Be like,
Margaret Thatcher. Yeah. Prime Minister of England in the 80s. She's a sexy woman.
She's known for it.
She's known for, yeah. I mean, how many... She's called Margaret Homewrecker Thatcher.
That's why the royalty didn't like her.
Mm-hmm. Little known fact, she's the one who broke up the marriage between Princess Diana and that guy she was married to. Prince Charles, that's his name.
Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher.
The marriage between.
It's because look, looks aren't everything. If you were in that woman's presence, she had a sexual magnetism that just exuded from her like she was going Super Saiyan, you know? It was just this fiery anime style energy that just sucked you in and said, I must fuck you, Margaret Thatcher. It's amazing. I'll never forget the week and a half we spent in Paris. It was the G5 summit. She was busy squashing labor at home, and I said, Margaret, do to me what you do to the Labor Party right now. And she did. The end. I love you all. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.